Today's show is about Apple trying to weaponize child exploitation so they can continue to spy on us. And we saw this earlier in the year with Google and a number of other companies. Even a lot of lefties in the federal government who wanted to, do away with Section 230 or implement rules where they have the right to look at your shit without a warrant. Provided if it's kids, we got to do it, man. We got to fucking no, you're not. You didn't give a fuck when all your friends and colleagues were raping children for years, and now all of a sudden, when you can use that idea to fucking force your way into my life somehow,
it's fucking. It's
I don't think so, brother.
How convenient.
Yeah. So Apple announced changes to its operating system that include new, quote, protections for children feature in iCloud and iMessage. There are two main features, and the company plans to implement on every Apple device as part of the upcoming iOS 15, iPad OS 15, Watch OS 8, and Mac OS Monterey. And this is what it is. There's two parts here. One is a scanning feature that will scan all photos as they get uploaded into iCloud to see if they match a photo in the database of known child sexual abuse material, or CSAM, maintained by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So now Apple's fucking going to cross-reference what's on your personal device with a federal database.
What is that? Like, what?
They're going to cross-reference. I'm going to say that again. They're going to cross-reference the shit on your phone. They're going to scan your phone, your privately owned phone, right, for images or material from a federal database, which means now the government is spying on you.
Well, let me ask you this. How does this work if, like my kids are playing in the bathtub, and I take a picture?
Oh, I mean,
how does that work? Am I going to fucking jail?
Technically.
So they're going to get a fucking database of...
No. So it doesn't look for child nudity, at least according to these guys.
Well, I mean,
what it looks for is pictures that have been designated as coming from child exploitation.
It says right here. It says if it matches a database for known child sexual abuse material.
Right, so stuff that's been taken into custody by the federal government and put into this database. If it matches any of that, then it's going to flag
I don't
guess.
I don't want a motherfucker looking at my photos.
No. And here's what they'll say. Oh, it's blind. It doesn't actually... It's not a human being looking through all your photos. It's just an algorithm that's trying to match them up. Oh, is that all it is? Is that all it is? Fucking trust the fuck out of you guys. Yeah, for sure.
We believe you now.
Is it me, or is it implied that this organization, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, just have a stockpile of child porn? It's like, why are they keeping a database of this shit?
Dude, this is fucking insane.
Why are they keeping a database? Because for those of you that don't know anything about programming, Apple had to create an API, right?
Yes.
It's a fucking little piece of software that sits in between two databases, basically, and allows them to communicate, pull data. It's call out functions to pull data from stuff, all sorts of translate between different fields. A lot of stuff happens there. Apple had to create a fucking API that queries a federal government database, and they're going to run your fucking personal shit through that database, basically. And what is the expectation? That it's a one-way query? That the government doesn't somehow fucking gain access to a backdoor through your fucking phone? Of course they do.
Yeah, of course they do.
Unbelievable. So Apple will then be able to report these instances to the NCMEC, who then reports it to law enforcement agencies, right? So this is another example of the Fourth Amendment being violated
100%
by the federal government. I mean, just because the federal government didn't request it, the fact that they are complicit in it by giving access to their database for Apple to run, that it constitutes an illegal search. And I can't fucking believe that nobody is talking about this shit. It's wild, man. So Apple, once it determines, however it does determine something like that, to be an image from that database, they can then report it to the federal agency or to local law enforcement should they choose. They claim the method of detecting CSAM or child sexual abuse material. I don't know why they're coming up with new acronyms for this. It's fucking, God, I fucking hate the government so much. Is designed with user privacy in mind, because Apple's been really good about protecting your privacy.
Yeah, they've done real good at that.
As instead of scanning images in the cloud, the system performs on-device matching using a database of known CSAM image hashes provided by NCMEC and other child safety organizations. So they're putting a piece of software on your phone, right, that then has to cross-reference with a government database, basically.
Yeah, that's so we're going to trust Apple and the government?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, the government doesn't receive any of your data.
So how do they?
But there's a pipeline for it to happen now, right? And that switch could be turned on without, it's a minor change to the API that's allowing this would allow full access to every piece of media on your phone for the government. That's how that API will work. So the general consensus, we were talking to Giorgio offline about this, the general consensus from the tech community is basically what our premise is here today, which is that they're trying to use something that nobody will disagree with to force a backdoor into exposing your fucking information to the government, basically, or to themselves for whatever purpose they might have. So before an image is stored on the cloud, an on-device matching process is performed for that image. The matching process is powered by cryptographic technology called private set intersection, which determines if there's a match without revealing the result, without revealing it to the host of the image, which would be the NCMEC, right? Mm-hmm. So the government, their position is that the government's not going to see the result.
Yeah.
So that somehow obfuscates the fact that it's a fucking goddamn violation of the Fourth Amendment. You know what I mean? Like if I'm a cop and you're a security guard, you can't go violate his rights. I can. If I tell you to go search him without cause, then you violated his rights on my behalf. Mm-hmm. Apple's a private company. They can't violate your rights, right? Not like that. They can't violate your Fourth Amendment right. But if they are working in conjunction with a federal authority and searching your shit without a fucking warrant, that is a violation of the Fourth Amendment, period. There's no fucking debate about that shit.
Yeah.
The device creates a cryptographic safety voucher that encodes the result along with additional encrypted data about the image. So they're fucking, again, Apple's telling you that we query the thing and then we get the result and the result's encrypted. All you have to do is pass the federal government a key to the encryption. It doesn't protect it from anything.
Yeah.
You stupid motherfucker. Yeah. The voucher is then uploaded to the cloud along with the image, where the system uses a process called threshold secret sharing to ensure the vouchers cannot be interpreted by Apple unless the iCloud account crosses a threshold of known child sexual exploitation content. Cool.
This is nuts.
So they're just making up their own rules. There's some
and you notice they keep throwing these words in there, right? Like these words to try to make you feel comfortable. Like,
it's super duper tippy top secret at Crypto. Shut the fuck up.
You know, encodes.
This is fucking lawyerese. This is a fucking contract where they're trying to use unnecessary fucking garrulous language to make it more difficult for the average person to understand, so they can slip more by you. I mean, we told you about the fucking crypto fucking tippy top secret stuff. Why weren't you paying attention then? It's the same shit that Apple's been sued for 1,000,000 times for their fucking end user license agreement that nobody reads because they made it 6,000 fucking pages long. Mm-hmm. And they've lost every single one of those lawsuits, and they're going to lose this one too. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Hopefully. It depends. The threshold is set to provide an extremely high level of accuracy and ensure less than 1 in 1 trillion chance per year of incorrectly flagging a given account.
But understand that this 1 in 1 trillion chance ruins that one. Their life is ruined.
Yeah. Well, that's all fucking.
What?
It's all bullshit, right?
How do you prove it's 1 in 1 trillion?
A bucket a lead bucket with molten steel in it, right, is pretty safe. You could pick it up, put it back down. If I tip the bucket over and pour it on your head, you're going to die. The dangerous contents still exist. They're just saying you should trust me because we've built an apparatus strong enough to control it. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
On 3 Mile Island in Fukushima, motherfucker. We don't trust you guys. I've heard it before when the U.S. Army, the VA, and the Department of Homeland Security lost my fucking PII, my personally identifiable information. 3 times that my shit's been fucking compromised.
Yeah.
I don't trust any of you motherfuckers anymore. Are you kidding me? How many data breaches have there been?
So many.
How many data breaches have there been by the federal government that we don't know about?
How about this?
I mean, forget about Snowden. What about the ones we don't know about that have happened?
I mean, if Chelsea Manning can do it.
I mean, that dummy just fucking grabbed a handful of shit and threw it on the internet.
Well, either way.
Apple documentation states that the iCloud feature will help Apple provide valuable information to law enforcement on the collection of child sexual abuse material and iCloud photos. Now, look, you know what Apple could have done was provide the public with all of the information from Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein's phones and MacBooks.
They didn't do that.
Could have done that. You could have done that, and that would have saved a lot more people than this fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, what about that? It's fucked.
Privacy. People like have fetishized privacy like it's even a real thing. Privacy is not real, and it hasn't been real for a very long time. And the fact that we continue to cling to that is nonsense. You're never going to have privacy. And so that begs the question, what protection do we have?
None.
The protection is to keep the government as small and weak as fucking possible.
Yeah.
Right?
That should
So
be.
it can't fucking attack you. So it can't use that information. If you can't prevent the information from being out there, right, then the only solution you have is to make the information inert. And the only way to make it inert is to completely do away with any kind of government power that might be able to turn that shit against you.